Millions of Filipino voters will make their voices heard on a wide range of issues come Election Day, from national sovereignty, politics to higher commodity prices, and so much at stake. How do we ensure voters make an informed choice in the elections, peaceful and transparent? Joining us in the newsroom for a discussion on their Matalinong Boto election campaign is Pinky Colmenares. She is the senior executive editor of the Manila Bulletin, one of ABS-CBN's partners for the May polls. Pinky, nice to have you with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you also for inviting us. Inviting me, Katrina.
So this whole campaign, I mean, the Manila Bulletin has its own campaign, ABS-CBN as well. But first off, this question: why is it important for media to take part, to have this sort of a campaign, to make sure that there is integrity in the upcoming polls?
Well, I think media should really take part in informing people of what the choices that they are going to make, because voting is a democratic process, and it is very important that they vote for the right leaders to lead us to solve our problems. We have so many problems now. We have unemployment, underemployment, poverty, rising food prices. As media companies, you and I, we belong to media companies, it is our responsibility to present information so that the people will be led to make good decisions.
I was just talking to Professor Ronnie Holmes the other day about how people make their informed choices come Election Day. And it's still traditionally the advertisements that get to the voter. But in this day and age, those advertisements are really something else, right? It's political propaganda on steroids, right? So how do you counter that to make sure that there is this whole other universe of facts, of track record, of competence of these candidates wanting to get their votes?
Well, that's really a difficult challenge to counter that, because people now, or news consumers now, like to be entertained, and they're entertained by the propaganda, the ads, the slogans, even the production numbers. You know, they're entertained by messages that are delivered that way. But it is our responsibility to counter that by coming out with full information, truthful information, fact-based information, to counter everything that they see in social media or even in the ads, because it's our responsibility to guide them to make informed choices. Matalinong Boto campaign aims to be Manila Bulletin's contribution to a strong democracy. That's why we believe that we have to go on informing them, presenting the news and features that highlight the virtues and the value of respectful discourse, no mudslinging, which we have just seen. You know, we are now full of that in the news. Peaceful elections and facts, not fake news. So Matalinong Boto campaign hopes to get people to be involved and aware that there is such a thing as making a good decision to choose our leaders, not only because they're popular, not only because they can do a good song and dance number or deliver a good jingle, but because they have a platform of government.
I think, Pinky, you and I have been in this industry for quite a long time already, too. Enough for us to hope that, you know, it's not just the jingles that they recall come Election Day. It's not the last song syndrome, but really the policies, the advocacies, the track record and competence of these candidates. You have three pillars, as you mentioned. There's peaceful elections, respectful elections, and facts, not fake news. How do you help in the peaceful elections aspect with your campaign, Matalinong Boto?
We highlight, we have now a page, and our reporters are aware of this. We highlight stories that speak about peaceful initiatives of candidates, and then we highlight also stories that's anti-mudslinging, you know, to make people aware that they should read or try to find out what is the platform of government of their candidate or their favorite and very popular candidate, because that is what is most important. They have to know that the person they are voting for has a platform to present. What is their plan to help us create more economic opportunities or more employment? It's not just in the jingle. that the plan will come out. So by presenting them with stories in in the way that it's consumed now in social media, in online, we hope and we aim to get their attention to pay attention to make good choices. Also, I was also wondering, because I was looking at the presentation of the people who are doing this campaign, and they had a lot of tarps. Some of them will be placed on tricycles, mobile, in the buses. And I was wondering, what is this for? And now I know what it is for. Because as you see that, and it becomes very obvious in the communities that you have this big tarp of Matalinong Boto, enters your mind that, yeah, this is what it means. We need a good choice. We need a wise vote. It's not a matter of just a popular vote. So through those tarps that are running around or moving around, be it through jeepneys, tricycles, or even newsboys who wear them in their shirts, we hope to instill that kind of awareness, even among children, especially among the students, to tell their elders who are voting of Matalinong Boto.
All right, so let's go to the mudslinging part and to the respectful part. I mean, this early into the campaign, they're not faring very well, Pinky. I mean, as we saw. But then again, you have difference in policies, right? One might already say, now that's mudslinging, but really what the other side is doing is just really pointing out to the fact that this, for example, is their stand on a particular issue. So how do you help people discern what is mudslinging and what is really discourse that needs to happen, and for the people to know about these issues?
Well, that one is not very difficult to do. Although, if you're very we are aware of social media, where mudslinging is now like part of the game. That's the way you get likes, or you get your reads, or views. But through stories or through feature stories and our campaigns on how a respectful discourse happens, that you listen to what somebody says, you listen to what are they offering on the table, what can they do, are they qualified to do that, do they understand the problem, do they understand the issues, and for them also to respect the other person or the other candidates when they say that they are against their thoughts. So through all these stories, we aim to build a culture for respectful discourse, that you do not attack a person. It is rude to attack a person personally.
Personally.
Yes, personally.
But based on issues, that's fair game.
That's fair game, yes. So I think you and I, we're in the media, we have to just keep on, although we are sometimes disappointed when we see on the mudslinging, especially in social media. We just have to keep on, because people will just latch on and understand this is what peaceful or respectful discourse is all about.
Well, there's another layer to it in such that sometimes the mudslinging, the target is us, the media.
Yes.
Because social media and fake information out there has completely eroded. We're trying to rebuild it, but it has eroded the trust of the public in media. So what makes you and I think, that yes, we're doing this initiative, but are there any takers?
Well, one of the things that we do, the campaign of Matalinong Boto, is conducting forums in the schools to prepare or to make these children or the students aware of what is the voting process all about, what are the issues, and what is an intelligent or a smart, wise vote. So we are now conducting that. We have 5 schools on the list, and we are in the process of having a partnership with them. And these schools are in Intramuros, because they're just near my office. And through all these forums, and it's interesting, because I've been to one before in the last elections. Students are really listen. It's not like they're just there because they have no class. They really listen, and they ask a lot of questions about adult things, adult issues, and you'd not think that they are interested. it's just that, Katrina, now.
It's Karmina, by the way.
Karmina,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's now people are more interested in what comes out in social media. You know, so they say maybe that's real because it's repeated and repeated and repeated. And we only say it once a day, or you say you have once a day.
Yeah, but also, is it also a factor? I mean, you talk about the students, but it's different. It's a different story altogether when you talk about the parents who are in survival mode, the parents who have not enough income to bring to the table, and would rely on local governments, would rely on aids coming from the government, and therefore there's this the patronage politics now seeps in. So yes, the learners are enlightened, but then the parents are steeped in reality. So how do you then bridge that through this campaign?
Yeah, to that, you know, I've been here for so long. And yes, every elections we try to give that same message, and every elections you see the survival mode kicking in, and it's the one carrying the vote. Because like one time I was with a group of people in a small area, and they were all informal settlers, and they were voting for a person who owns the land, and so but they did not want to, and two people dared to vote differently. And the next time I saw the persons, they said that they were kicked out of the land. So that's what I mean. These are the realities that we have to also face while we're reporting and while we're trying to change the culture. And it can be very frustrating, but we have to keep on. That's our responsibility. We're in media. We're supposed to, you know, to lead people to good ideas. We're supposed to be the leaders of change. So we cannot get frustrated and give up.
Yeah. I know, because right now I like listening to you, right? And the whole campaign is all about Matalinong Boto. But what about Matalinong Candidato? Because I mean, that vote is just as good as the candidate, right? But if I mean, this should also be, I guess, as a signal to the candidates out there that there is this need for them to level up the discourse, right? It cannot be this way.
Yeah. You know, interesting. Today, one of our columnists, Mayor Henares of Antipolo, wrote a very nice column about that, discussing why celebrities, showbiz celebrities or stars win in every election. And he was saying it's because Pinoys like to, you know, the feeling of affinity that I know this person, and this person must know me, and then the trust. So because of the affinity, they feel that they can trust the person. So we cannot get away from that kind of culture because, like you said, patronage, and then this one is the celebrity thing that you feel like you know the person. So we just have to, you know, to go on and tell and come out with campaigns like this to tell them, look beyond the popularity, look beyond patronage, and if you want something done, you have to stand up for it.
But we also have to make a mention that, you know, it's not all across the board. Not all celebrities are created equal, right?
Yes.
There are celebrities who have become public servants, excellent public servants. But conversely as well, everyone can be a celebrity nowadays, right? Through social media. Would you agree with me, Pinky, when you say when I say that, you know, this time around, when you talk about the Filipino vote, they're voting for both the familiar and the mythical.
Yes, that is correct. The familiar and the mythical. Yes, they're familiar with a person, the name, the face, what the person has done. Though that's the difficult part. That's why you said it's a good thing to tell the candidates to level up, because perhaps when you run, you should have like a track record, so that you should have a to be familiar. You know, you cannot just come up now and say, I'll run now, because you are not familiar. And to the Filipino voter, it is important that the name and the face, they are familiar. Yeah, and
Which brings us to the last pillar, which is facts and not fake information. Because the hope is that all of these things and hopes that you said would be based on real information, on facts. How much of an uphill battle is it for this campaign to make sure that that is communicated to the public?
Well, the Manila Bulletin, I'm sure, you know, sometimes they make jokes about us saying that you're a bulletin board, because we always have a lot of fact checking. We value accuracy. Sometimes we sacrifice speed for accuracy, because we fact check everything that comes out, and we are very careful that we really get red in the face or very embarrassed if there's something that comes out that's not been fact checked or it's incorrect. So for us, we're just following with our commitment and our legacy of facts. And we've been in the business for 125 years. We just celebrated.
Just celebrated.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And that is for anyone who comes in, the bulletin, that's the first thing they'll face, accuracy. That is what's most important. So we believe that we have developed already, we have built or we have established a reputation. That's why when you say, when we were in school and somebody says there's no classes tomorrow, we say, did it come out in the bulletin?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
That's true. Or when you say we're getting double pay because it's a holiday, did it come out in the bulletin? Yeah. So now we're the Manila Bulletin, and we know that we have established the trust record, and there's been several surveys that have shown that we are high in the trust rating. So we just want to, that's like our anchor. Yeah, we want to tell you, we are only presenting, you know, facts, and because we believe that Filipino people need information, real information, you know, and real information.
All right. We have a couple of months to go before the May 2025 elections. It's going to be a very interesting ride this time around. I guess I'll see you on the other side.
Yes,
thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Pinky Colmenares there, Senior Executive Editor of the Manila Bulletin, one of ABS-CBN's partners for the May polls. Thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you.